Hi there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading. This is Yetta Pearl, and this is your reading for the week of October 4th through the 10th of 2021. So this is a general reading, which means that all the guardian angels for all the Capricorns are here and they're contributing to the reading. They get together and they determine the vibration. So the cards that want to come out of the deck. And so those messages are the ones they want you to know the most. And so that'll be for, the majority of you. If you're feeling that some part of this doesn't resonate, it just means that it's for somebody else. And so that's totally fine. So let's see. Oh, almost there. Almost there. 2 more cards to come out. Okay, that was too many. Sometimes if, more than 2 come out, that's fine. But not when it's a whole bunch like that. That just means I dropped them. So, just about there. Oh, here we go. And one more. One more. So, we have, okay, there we go. There we go. So, this looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So you have, it feels like you've been being held back by your own perceived limitations. Some of them are things that you've created in your own mind's eye. And some of them are things that are like belief systems and triggers and things that have been created so far in your life by your experiences. And so one of those things, you don't like to feel vulnerable. Nobody does, but you are extra sensitive to that. It's like feeling vulnerable to you feels like a weakness, and it's not. Your angels are like, they're saying feeling vulnerable is how you connect to people. And so when you feel like, you don't have enough friends, or you only have, these very few people in your life or whatever, the way you connect more with people is by showing them who the true you really is and being unapologetic about that. And, okay, and so they're showing me that you're doing that, but at the same time, you're so guarding yourself, your inner heart, that the things you're saying, the things that you are sharing, yes, they are authentic, but they're shallow, they're surface. And that's only what you're willing to share. As soon as you get to a point where you can share the deeper stuff, and I don't mean with the world, like there's none of this oversharing on social media stuff. That is not what they're talking about at all. They're talking about with the people that you are close with or that you want to be closer with. Or, you want a larger circle or things like that. This is the people that you're going to share something that you feel like they might not like it. That's what makes you feel vulnerable, right? Because if they don't like it, how are they going to react? It's okay. Like anybody who reacts in a poor way and walks away from you is like, you better know that now than later. I mean, that's just the way it is. And there will be, because of you being willing to be vulnerable, willing to show your true self, that will attract the true people, the ones who will stick. Yeah. And there's a lot of those people there and available to you. They're not just family. They are family, but they're not just family. So there's more of those. Yeah. And it feels like some of this has been created through your relationship with your father or your father figure, or that you are the father. And so with your children, things like that. It's the male bonding that needs to be healed. So whether your father is living or not, or whoever this is about, right? It doesn't have to be blood father. It can be whoever comes to mind when you think of this, right? Whether they're living or not is irrelevant, because this healing is taking place within you. And so that's what's makes it possible for you to have healthier relationships yourself going forward. When you can clear the blockages, the things that are triggers now from your father, from like it, so it feels like there was no like physical affection, like there's no hugging, there's no that kind of stuff, and there can be there, it needs some attention and addressing it within yourself. Certainly, if you have the person available to you, then definitely try and heal something between you, right? And just start doing that. Like, so for example, if you're an adult and your father obviously is an adult and there was never any, physical affection, never any hugs or whatever, hug him once and see what happens. And yes, it'll take breaking a mold, for sure it will. And it'll take feeling vulnerable, the risk of rejection. But you got to start somewhere, or even talking and saying, I don't mind hugging. I like it. And see what happens, right? So, because that was maybe created in him from something that you don't know anything about, right? And he's just continuing it. That's all he's doing. And sometimes he knows he's doing it and he feels awkward too. So he would feel, welcoming that. Yeah. For others of you, this is kind of different. This is more that there's been trauma passed between you and your father. And you need to heal that so that you can be more complete as a person yourself. And so talking with your angels, talking about, how to heal that, how to take out the parts that are not serving you and allow that to heal. They're just showing me this sore that's not healing. It's red and it's raw. And asking your angels how to let that heal, how to stop picking at it, how to let it be soothed, right? And so the more you do belief systems clearing and cord cutting and things like that with that individual, the more you will be able to forgive them and yourself, and that will allow the relationship to heal, which allows you to heal, is what they're talking about. Yeah. And this is, in a very real sense, this is breaking free from old patterns. That's exactly what it is. It's old stuff, and it's holding you back. You might think, oh, I don't need to deal with, I've dealt with all that before. There's something still there. It's not fully healed. And so on an intellectual level, if you could have dealt with all of it before now, you would have, right? So now we're talking about the emotional. We're talking about the parts that you felt hurt and rejected, and allowing that to no longer be a factor for you. Yeah, to let yourself be loved. Okay, so here we have, angels, where do we want to go next? Okay, consult an expert on this. So we're going to come back to this card again later, but if you feel the need for your emotional and vulnerability healing, consult an expert. So sometimes that's a talk therapy. Sometimes it's a different type of emotional clearing or things like that, practitioners that can help with that. So don't hesitate to do that if you feel the need. Okay. You don't have to tell anybody. It's okay. All right. So now I think we're changing the subject here, it appears. So there's a motivation that you have. What's driving you lately? There's something that it's a goal you have. It's a thing that you want to attain. It's something you're working towards. You're building up resources or something in order to do something. you're on the right track. Yes. And so your angels want you to maintain your focus. It feels like there's distractions, things that you could do instead with some of that or whatever, some of those resources, but don't. Like, you want to keep those resources. You want to keep building them. And, it'll feel to you like, well, I've got so much built up already, and it's so hard to not spend it on this or that, or not to go off on a tangent and do this other thing first and whatever. Please, please, please stay the course is what your angels are saying. Stay on track. Keep your focus. All that stuff. Put blinders on if you have to, like a horse, so they don't get distracted by things. They don't get spooked. Yeah, same thing. Keep your focus. Yeah. And okay. And so I'm being told that there are other people in your life who want you to do this and do that and do the other thing. Don't do it. Just keep on track. Keep on track. Okay. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Make sure you keep there. Stay there. Do that. And this seems to have to do with a new project that you've got on the go. And so again, there's this focus thing. So it feels like, you've got other things. You've got a lot of projects. You've got a lot of projects. They're just showing me all this stuff. And they're all very worthy projects. But you kind of have to choose. I mean, you can't keep adding another new one before you've finished any of the old ones. Yeah. So pick something. Be motivated to do it. Put your focus on that and get it done. That way it's no longer in that pile. Right? Now, if you are aware that one of those projects has priority, it's the biggest thing or it's the smallest thing and can be just finished and be done. If there is one that has to be priority, then you need to shuffle the other stuff all out of the way and keep only this one in your focus, in your attention. And put everything into that instead of being fragmented all over the place. That's really how it feels. Very like mind-blowing. It's like it almost physically hurts my head, like these little things all shooting out everywhere that are taking your focus away. That's what that feels like. And so now here we're back to this consultant expert. So if it would help you to consult somebody to assist on whatever the priority project is, then do that. If you need to know how much resources you have available, well, find out. If that's what's stopping you, if you're always going, oh, but I don't know if I can, find out, get advice from the experts, the professionals, because they're the ones, that's their job. They do that. So even if it costs you a little bit, right, still go do that. And that will help you keep your focus. That'll help you know what your actual goal is, right? How do you know where you're going if you don't have a goal? How do you know how to get there? How do you know what to gather along the way? And only to get there and discover, oh, I didn't know what the goal was, so I didn't do that. I didn't know I had to, right? Find out all the things. And ask, there's a lot of people around you who have a lot of resources and information and knowledge. So don't be scared to talk about this stuff. Like if the person who always spouts off and pretends to be the expert, don't talk to them. No, don't talk to them. The person who says, but have you thought about this? Like, how would you check that? That's just to add to your list of due diligence, right? That's the kind of people you want around, because they have these different points of view that can help you make sure you're gathering all the information so that when you get to your goal, you've done everything that you need to. Yeah, that's the kind. Okay, so let's grab the daily guidance cards and we'll see what's one last wee bit of information that your angels want you to know for you for this week. Okay, that wasn't it. Let's hang on. We'll just be patient. There we go. Cupid. Woo! Cupid. There's maybe a little romance in your week. That's awesome. So anybody who does not currently have a partner, they're getting very close. Yeah, and you're getting close with them. So you want to make sure that you're receptive, that you're available, that you're open to meeting somebody, open to connecting with somebody. For those of you who are already in a relationship, make it deeper this week. Do something that you know your partner loves so that they'll be excited and feel treasured. And, just prepare for that relationship to be deeper and more important, and spend the time treasuring the person. Okay, that's awesome. So speaking of treasuring, let's send that worldwide. We see the world here, the globe. Let's build some energy, and let's just love everybody. Let's just send that. Oh yeah. That feels so nice. Feels very comforting. It's warm and it's cozy. And it's easy. Thank you so much. Capricorn, I want you to know how much I appreciate you and how much I love you. And I want you to know that I will see you next week.